Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Bladensburg Council hearing for Thursday, December 19th. The time is now 5:30, and we are called to order. Again, good evening, and welcome to the Town of Bladensburg. We are here, and our meeting has now come to order. Please note that the limited seating is reserved for those who need reasonable accommodations under the Americans with Disabilities Act and for Town of Bladensburg residents. If there are no seats available, you're more than welcome to join us virtually and watch the meeting on our various streaming services. We'll continue on with our agenda, and Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Councilmember Brown? Councilmember Blunt?
Here.
Councilmember Dixon? Councilmember McBride?
Here. Mayor James?
Present. And I do want to note, for those who are viewing, I know Councilmember Brown was under the weather, so she may not be able to join, in which case we can always vote to excuse her absence at the next meeting. Next, we'll move on with the approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Also move.
Moved by Councilmember Dixon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any corrections or edits to the agenda? I did want to ask the council for two friendly amendments. One, we need to announce the last two closed sessions, and then we also need to approve the minutes of those closed sessions. So if the council is open to that, those would be the two adjustments. Councilmember Blunt, does that work for you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. Any other corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. So next, we'll proceed with the announcement of the last two closed sessions. The first was on December the 4th. The Town Council met in closed session pursuant to the general provisions of Article 3-305, Section B4 of the Maryland Code. And the purpose was to consider a matter that concerns the proposal for a business or industrial organization to locate or expand or remain in state. And then the second item the council discussed was pursuant to general provisions, Article 3-305, Section B1 of the Maryland Code, and that was to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this body has jurisdiction, and any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. So with that, that was the December 4th closed session. On Tuesday, December 17th, the Bladensburg Town Council met in closed session, and that meeting was pursuant to general provisions, Article 3-305, Section B4 of the Maryland Code, where the council met to consider a matter that concerns the proposal for a business or industrial organization to locate, expand, or remain in state. Secondly, the council met in that closed session pursuant to general provisions, Article 3-305, Section B7, to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice, and Section 8, to consult with staff, consultants, and other individuals about pending or potential litigation. And that completes the update on the December 17th closed session. So at this time, beginning with the December 4th closed session meeting minutes, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Councilmember McBride. Is there a second?
Second.
Was that Ms. Blunt? I'm trying to listen on the speaker. Thank you, Ms. Blunt, for the second. Any corrections or edits to the council minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. And next, is there a motion to approve the closed session meeting minutes for Tuesday, December 17th?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt, seconded by Councilmember Dixon. Any corrections to the minutes for December 17th? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. So the next item on our agenda is the public hearing, which the majority of the folks in the room are here for. And this is for annexation resolution number 01-2025, a resolution by the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg to enlarge the corporate boundaries of the town by annexation of 113 acres of land, more or less. At this time, Madam Clerk, I'll turn it over to you to please read the public hearing rules into the record.
Those wishing to speak must sign in the back. This is a public hearing of the mayor and the council of town of Bladensburg, specific regarding annexation resolution 01-2025, a resolution by the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg to enlarge the corporate boundaries of the town by annexation of 113 acres of land, more or less. The hearing you are signing up for will occur today, December 19, 2024 at 5:30 at 4229 Edmondson Road, Bladensburg, Maryland 20710. This is your opportunity to share comments, but the town officials present are not obligated to immediately answer any questions posed. Those wishing to speak must sign up to do so in the back. Attendees are encouraged to review copies of the annexation plan and annexation resolution with exhibits available on the town's website. Please note the following rules. Individual speakers will be limited to 2 minutes. Representative groups, community groups, HOAs, 501c3s, businesses, and other municipalities, etc., will be allowed 3 minutes. The mayor and council reserves the right to allow any elected official to speak on behalf of constituents or limit comments to senior elected official present. This designated person shall be the senior elected official present for any groups residing outside of the town of Bladensburg. Non-residents of the town of Bladensburg and the area proposed for annexation to address the mayor and council individually. Non-residents must select a single representative to speak on their behalf for 3 minutes, and the representative will be the senior elected official present. Designated representative from Prince George County Government, Maryland Department of Planning, and the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, or Prince George County Planning Board, per Section 4-406 of the Local Government Article of the Maryland Annotated Code. Representatives from these entities will be given the right to speak first and will be granted 3 minutes to address the mayor and council. If both the branches of county government and says representative, each will be afforded the opportunity to speak. Said representatives must sign in and indicate they are the designated representative for their respective organizations. All individuals speaking must provide their names and complete address, including street numbers. Those addressing the mayor and the town council as a group must provide their names and complete street address, including street numbers and the name of the group or entity they represent, and designate that they are the spokesperson for that group. The single group representative for all non-residents, groups, action committees, businesses, etc., not in the town of Bladensburg, wishing to address the mayor and council must provide their name and complete street address, including street name, the name of the group or entity they represent, designate that they are the spokesperson for that group. Speakers may only address the mayor and council once no follow-up statements are allowed. Designated individuals from Prince George County, Maryland Department of Planning, and Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, and Prince George County Planning Board may provide a work address for the record. Written comments are also accepted from residents and non-residents and will be included in the public record if received on the public hearing date. Written testimony will not be read into the record by the mayor or council. These can be submitted to the town clerk before or during the hearing by emailing clerk@bladensburgmaryland.gov. These measures ensure that meetings are conducted efficiently and that the residents' views are prioritized while allowing non-residents to represent their perspectives through designated representative or written submissions. Proceedings are televised, live, and recorded for later broadcast on television or social media platform. All contents of these proceedings is subject to disclosure under the Maryland Public Information Act. Photographic and electronic audio-visual broadcasting and recording devices are used during the council meeting. These are public meetings, and attendance automatically grants permission to broadcast your audio visual image to the town of Bladensburg government. As part of its home rule powers, a municipal may annex contiguous unincorporated property in accordance with the provision of Title IV, Subtitle 4 of the Local Government Article. An annexation may be initiated by the municipal legislative body or or by petition of the residents or of the area seeking annexation. The legislative body must satisfy public notice and hearing requirements on the resolution to incorporate. In addition, the governing body of a municipality must develop an annexation plan as part of the proposed annexation. The annexation plan must be consistent with the municipal growth element contained in the municipality's comprehensive plan for those municipalities having their own planning and zoning authority. That is developed in consultation with the county in which the municipal corporation is located and submitted to the Maryland Department of Planning. The annexation resolution becomes effective after the favorable vote by legislative body, provided that the resolution is not petitioned to a referendum by the residents of the area seeking annexation, by the municipal residents, or by the county. Governing body. Following annexations. Section 4-416 of the local government article restricts substantial changes by the municipality in the use or density for the zoning classification applicable at the time of the annexation without the consent of the county for 5 years following the annexation.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And I believe you have the sign-in sheet because we do need to begin the hearing with our county representatives. And so as Madam Clerk read, if we have representatives from Prince George's County government, that's either the legislative or executive branch or the Redevelopment Authority, the Maryland Department of Planning, MNC PPC, which is the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, or Prince George's County Planning Board, could you please stand at this time? Thank you. All right, so Madam Clerk, do we have the representative from county government listed to speak on the sign-up sheet?
We do have, Mayor, we have somebody from Prince George County Council at large.
Perfect.
If you want to please approach the council, please name and address for the record.
And as you're speaking, I apologize, the clock is a bit behind you on the wall. That will have your 3 minutes listed on there.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council of Bladensburg. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Marlon Cruz, and I'm representing Prince George's County Council Office of At-Large Member Jolene Ivy, and our address is 1301 McCormick Drive, Largo, Maryland. To the Mayor and Council of the Town of Bladensburg, I appreciate the opportunity to have my comment read into the record regarding the Town of Bladensburg's attempt to annex the Hospital Hill area. As chair of the Prince George's County Council, I want to acknowledge the work that the Town of Cheverly, along with the county, has done over the years in planning and preparing for the redevelopment of this critical area. This development is important to Prince George's County and the state of Maryland. I am gravely concerned about the uncertainty caused by this sudden attempt by the Bladensburg Mayor and Council and the lack of collaboration and discussion with stakeholders and current stance of Bladensburg town officials. Putting this project at risk is devastating not just to the immediate surrounding areas, but to the county at large. I am committed to work with all the stakeholders involved to ensure that we can come to a resolution that ensures this development proceeds. I am also committed to ensure that we continue to bring smart economic development to every part of the county, and to work collaboratively, with the communities affected to ensure that every resident in our county thrives. As always, I am ready to work with each of you here and the residents of the county. We are a county that is stronger together, so I implore the Town of Bladensburg to reevaluate their stance and to consider how we can work together with our neighbors and not against them. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Jolene Ivy, Chair of the Prince George's County Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. And again, just to confirm, while he was speaking, no other county representatives arrived from the Planning Board, Redevelopment Authority, County Executive's Office, or Maryland Department of Planning. We just want to make sure. Okay. So that concludes the written testimony or oral testimony from our county representatives. Again, thank you, Mr. Cruz. Next, we will allow the Mayor of Cheverly, Mayor Casey Munyene, to approach and speak for 3 minutes.
Did you press that? Yep. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council, Bladensburg staff, and constituents. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the town of Cheverly. I want to address the proposed annexation and why it is not in the best interest of Bladensburg residents or our shared community. Since 2020, the town of Cheverly has worked closely with Prince George's County RDA to lay the groundwork for meaningful development at Hospital Hill. Even before that, since 2016, we've drafted a Cheverly sector plan along with the county. Our efforts have included community engagement meetings, funding surveys, traffic studies, and expending thousands of dollars to prepare residents for the site's future. Cheverly has demonstrated its commitment to responsible development, investing time, money, and resources to ensure that this project aligns with communities' needs and expectations. In addition, we've dealt with significant challenges associated with the site over the years. These include escapee hospital patients, addressing damage to our homes caused by the helipad, and providing additional public safety support. Cheverly has shown its unwavering dedication to supporting and improving the area. Bladensburg's annexation efforts not only disregards this history, but also jeopardizes progress. Even if Bladensburg was to identify a new developer, there's no guarantee that the county would approve their proposal. The current developers, who have had substantial investments, also reserve the right to seek damages, potentially leading to prolonged litigation. This would stall development for years and burden taxpayers with additional costs. Cheverly has always supported Bladensburg and remains committed to working together as neighbors. This is not a time for division. The proposed annexation threatens to undermine trust and derail the collaboration necessary to achieve meaningful progress. I hope that we can work together, not as adversaries, but as partners. Collaboration is the only way forward here, and we're better than this. So we owe it to our residents to focus on a shared success. And for that, I thank you. You all have a good night.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for your remarks. Next, we had reserved time for Senator Malcolm Augustine. Is he here, or a representative from his office? Do not see his chief of staff or the senator at this time. So we'll continue on at this time hearing from staff representatives. We'll begin with Town Administrator Michelle Bailey Hedgepeth.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. For the public record, my name is Michelle Bailey Hedgepeth, and I'm the Town Administrator of the Town of Bladensburg, located at 4229 Evanston Road, Bladensburg, Maryland, 20710. As the town's Chief Administrative Officer, I'm providing comments on the record regarding the town's operation and administrative processes related to Annexation Resolution Number 01-2025. In this presentation, I will provide comments on the following matters: compliance with the Maryland annexation requirements, the town's legal preparedness, addressing the enclave and accessibility issue, legal safeguards, the town's adherence to the requirements, and the town's commitment to the growth and planning vision. Compliance with Maryland annexation requirements. The town's in compliance with Section 4-415 of the Maryland Local Government Article, which governs the annexation plan process. This statute requires that the annexation be adopted as a separate resolution prior to the annexation and distributed to key stakeholders, including the County Council, the County Executive, Maryland Capital Park and Planning Commission, the County Department of Planning, and the Maryland Department of Planning, otherwise known as MDP. The town adopted the annexation plan on October 24, 2024. Copies of the plan were sent by certified mail to all required parties. Legal preparations. The town sought and continues to rely on legal advice throughout this process to ensure that every step complies with state law. The town leadership has engaged a consultant and has retained special counsel and experience in Maryland municipal and annexation law. This counsel has been successfully argued cases in front of the Maryland appellate courts. The town's legal strategy was grounded in Maryland state statute codified in Subtitle 4 and Title 4 of the Local Government Article. The statute's plain language and relevant case law and the Attorney General's opinions are the primary sources and guiding our processes. When questions arise that are not explicitly addressed by Maryland law, our attorneys will consult secondary authorities from the state and others to ensure legal consideration. Addressing the enclave and accessibility issue. I understand that many of the residents of Cheverly expressed that they did not want the municipal streets connecting to the former hospital site. Therefore, the main roads and access will likely remain to the north and south running through the property, which conveniently is accessible by Bladensburg and service providers in the area and other customers. Should local residents of Cheverly wish to have this direct access in the development, that option will remain viable. The proposed annexation of Hospital Hill property has raised concerns on whether it creates an enclave. Under Maryland law, an illegal enclave is defined as unincorporated land completely surrounded by a single municipality. In Anne Arundel versus Annapolis, which was in 1998, the court emphasized that an enclave must be entirely bounded by one municipality to be deemed illegal. The annexation of Hospital Hill will result in surrounding by two municipalities, Bladensburg and Cheverly, which does not violate the statutes. Some additional legal safeguards that we'd like to talk about is Maryland law prohibits annexing land within another municipality, annexing land that's not contiguous or adjoining an existing municipality's boundaries, creating unincorporated or entirely surrounded enclaves, annexing municipalities. The town's proposed annexation adheres with all of these requirements. These boundaries align with the town's vision for development and reflect a strategic effort to promote growth rather than simply capturing a particular parcel. Here are some precedents that are supporting our opinions. The legal precedent and guidance from the Maryland Attorney General's office support the validity of this annexation. As I already stated in an Anne Arundel County versus Annapolis, this defined what a legal enclave is. While the case law on roadbed annexations is limited, the Attorney General of Maryland has issued opinions affirming the legality of similar scenarios. The state views municipalities and counties as co-equal local governments, both are the creations of the state. Despite objections, annexation by municipalities are often complicated. The county plays a limited role in the municipal annexation, and landowner and tax-exempt properties are paid for by all county taxpayers, including those who live and work in municipalities within the county. The county should not pay any favoritism to a municipality that gets to annex by a nearby development. Commitment to our vision. This annexation represents more than just a technical process. It's part of Bladensburg's larger sustainable and economic growth and development strategy. The town officials of Bladensburg have diligently and zealously served the constituents, and they want to provide a better future and proper growth for their municipality, ensuring that its tax base supports the services that are being provided to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of its existing residents, visitors, and businesses, as well as those located in newly annexed areas. It has been said in America that we live in a system of governing autonomy, where state and local governments act as social laboratories. Certainly, Bladensburg has an equal right to annex an area that'll serve the entire region and should be able to make a bid to prove its ability and capacity to provide its own unique brand of governance and assortment of municipal services to the planned development of the Hospital Hill property, which we suggest should be called Bladensburg Overlook, as stated by the town annexation plan that was already approved. Since my appointment on July 10, 2023, the town has been working towards advancing its vision in alignment with the needs of our residents and stakeholders. After my appointment, the council approved 2 contracts at their regular meetings for one economic development consultant, Jared Hawkins, in September of 2023, and the other was for an annexation consultant, John O'Connor, in October of 2023. Over the last year, we have worked on materials, developed annexation strategies, which include this area and others. Thus, despite the perception that the town has not communicated with others, we have met with the RDDA and other partners when appropriate to talk about our aspirations and interest in annexation. But especially, we have been working on supercharging our economic development of our town. To this end, in October of 2024, we invited our legislative delegation, county, state, and federal, to attend an open house where we presented our legislative priorities for 2025. During this session, we took a tour of our Bostwick House, and we focused heavily on land use, economic development, and redevelopment, and our capital needs. This document was shared with the public on October 13, 2024. at the council meeting and is also part of the online backup, and hard copies are available in the back of the room. Finally, we intend to engage businesses along the roadway so that the town can further its long-term objectives. The town has developed an annexation webpage and updated our materials that were initially developed by my predecessor, former town administrator Debbie Sandlin, in early 2016. Thus, the town has a long-standing interest in annexation. Our recent actions are due to the goals it's shared by our council and the staff determination to turn these plans into reality. In closing, I want to reiterate that the annexation is legally sound and strategically aligned with the town's development goals. We appreciate the community engagement, and we look forward to working collaboratively with a myriad of partners and stakeholders, including nearby Cheverly and the port towns, to achieve shared success. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Madam Town Administrator. Next, we'll hear from Police Chief Tyrone Collington.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, community colleagues. I am Chief Tyrone Collington, Chief of Police for the Bladensburg Police Department. The town of Bladensburg envisions a future where public safety, community well-being, and innovative development intersect seamlessly. The annexation of the former Prince George's Community Hospital site, now known as Hospital Hill, into the town of Bladensburg represents a vital step towards achieving that vision. The town is committed to fostering a safe, thriving, and sustainable future for its residents, businesses, and visitors. With the Bladensburg Police Department's full service 365 days per year, professional, comprehensive capabilities, this annexation ensures that the future developments on the Hospital Hill site benefit from unmatched 21st century public safety services, operating 24/7 with a professional team of an authorized strength of 36 officers. Our police department offers an array of specialized units designed to address diverse challenges and ensure the safety of residents, businesses, and visitors alike. These specialized units include Public Information Officer, serves as the primary liaison between the police department and the public, ensuring clear, accurate, and timely communication about policies, initiatives, and incidents. Criminal Investigations Unit, addressing complex cases with expertise, which includes Part 1 and Part 2 offenses. Special Assignment Team, managing unique and evolving security challenges that sometimes poses challenges for uniformed officers to address. K-9 teams, utilizing highly trained patrol and bloodhound dogs to support patrols, detect evidence, and locate missing persons. Emergency Response Team, trained in handling high-risk scenarios with precision. Hostage Negotiator Team, resolving critical incidents peacefully. We have a traffic team promoting safe roadways through proactive enforcement. Certified Crisis Intervention Officers, responding compassionately to mental health emergencies. Community Action Teams, whose purpose is to strengthen partnerships between the police and community members. Ceremonial Honor Guard Team, fostering pride in our community through formal representation at various events. Code Enforcement Unit, ensuring safety and quality standards for property and development. The annexation of Hospital Hill provides a foundation for the Bladensburg Police Department to directly support and safeguard future developments at this critical site. Whether it becomes a center for healthcare innovation, a mixed-use development, or a community hub, the inclusion of this area within the town's jurisdiction guarantees access to a high standard of public safety and community services. Moreover, the integration of Hospital Hill into Bladensburg strengthens the town's ability to coordinate resources effectively, attract new investments, and maintain a cohesive vision for sustainability growth. Our police department's strategic presence on site enhances response times, ensures robust safety protocols, and fosters trust amongst stakeholders and future residents. the Bladensburg Police Department boasts an impressive response time of average 2 minutes and 29 seconds to respond to calls. And this was based on calls from January 1st, 2024 to the present date, which encompasses 10,612 calls for service that was placed upon the Bladensburg Police Department, and we had a response time of 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Very impressive. A key benefit of this annexation is to access the unparalleled public safety services provided by the Bladensburg Police Department. Our professional police services utilizes state-of-the-art 21st century crime-fighting technologies, ensures the highest standards of security for all. The Bladensburg Police Department employs advanced tools and resources to combat crime and protect community, including but not limited to, we have gun detection technology, identifying threats proactively and enhancing response times to save victims' lives, apprehend suspects, and to collect ballistic evidence. Real-time surveillance cameras providing 24/7 monitoring capabilities to ensure community safety. Speed monitoring technology promoting a safer streets and reducing traffic-related incidents. We maintain our own records management system with streamlining data to improve efficiency and response coordination. 24/7 Emergency Operations Center, ensuring rapid response, comprehensive crisis management, and professional emergency coordination of information to ensure the safety and well-being of the community as well as our first responders. Other technology resources continuously evolving to stay ahead of the emerging safety and challenges. By bringing Hospital Hill within Bladensburg jurisdictions, these technologies and services will directly support the safety and security of future developments at the site. As stated earlier, whether envisioned as a mixed-use development, a healthcare innovation hub, or another community-focused project, the presence of a professional police department with cutting-edge capabilities provide invaluable advantage. This annexation ensures a comprehensive approach to public safety, benefiting not only those who live and work at Hospital Hill, but also those border Bladensburg communities. Residents, schools, business owners, and visitors and faith-based organizations will all experience an enhanced security and peace of mind that comes from a well-equipped technology-driven police force. Moreover, annexing Hospital Hill strengthens Bladensburg's ability to attract and sustain economic development. Developing stakeholders can invest with confidence, knowing that their projects will thrive in a secure, well-managed environment. The Town of Bladensburg Police Department is dedicated to fostering a brighter future for all, and the annexation of Hospital Hill represents a significant milestone in our journey. Together, we will ensure this site becomes a beacon of safety, progress, and opportunity, where safety and progress go hand in hand. We are fully prepared and equipped to address any challenges that arise. This is a full-time commitment. Protecting the safety of our community will always remain a high priority for the men and women of the Bladensburg Police Department. We are always here for our community to improve the quality of life for all who live, work, and visit our town. This concludes my report. Thank you for your time. Chief Tyrone Collington.
Thank you so much, Chief. We really appreciate that. Next, we'll move on to our consultant that was mentioned previously, Mr. Jared Hawkins from High Street Consulting.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good to see you, Council, and glad to be here. Again, for the record, my name is Jared Hawkins. I'm the Economic Development Consultant serving the town of Bladensburg. And I really just wanted to go over some of the statistics of what the Hospital Hill development represents and the impact that it could have for the town of Bladensburg. This is a $500 million project that will encompass and include 1,300 residential units consisting of townhomes, apartments, and senior active living accommodations. There are plans for a 70-room hotel on site, 40,000 square feet of retail development, 70,000 square feet of office and medical space. So this is a massive project that's going to bring a lot of economic development. And how does this help the town of Bladensburg? We're talking about expanded tax revenues that can fund services without raising property taxes on residents or mitigating that possibility as much as possible. Working towards a more diversified housing stock that can make the town of Bladensburg attractive to a larger pool of residents and create momentum for future economic development projects in and around the town of Bladensburg and the broader Port Towns region. The town administrator and Chief Collinson provided some benefits that the project and the developer and the landowner and all the residents that will be moving to the Hospital Hill development, the benefits that Bladensburg can provide to them. So I won't reiterate those things, but I will say, I'm short and sweet with things. The town of Bladensburg is poised to utilize and generate economic development opportunities that bring about modernized amenities, updated housing, takes advantage of regional assets, mitigates tax burdens to the furthest extent possible for residents, and most importantly, serves the interests of Bladensburg's residents. Partnership with government partners, the private sector, and other stakeholders can be mutually beneficial for the residents of Bladensburg and surrounding areas. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hawkins. And next we'll move over to Mr. John O'Connor, who is our annexation consultant.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. And for the record, I want to ensure that it was stated that 5 calls were made for representatives of Maryland National Capital Park and Planning, Prince George's County, Maryland Department of Planning, Prince George's County Government, Prince George's County Council, as well as the Redevelopment Authority outside. And a last call prior to moving on was also made outside for any representatives that were authorized by law to speak first. There was no responses to any calls for that, and the other 2 representatives are the only ones that spoke. I'm addressing the matter to state on the record that the claims presented regarding the town's proposed annexation under resolution number 1/2025 are without merit. These assertions, which include allegations of non-contiguity, the creation of arbitrary corridors, enclave formation, and procedural deficiencies, are baseless when assessed under Maryland law and relevant legal precedent. Below, I'd like to address these points and clarify the town's compliance and justification for the proposed annexation as a matter of the record. For non-contiguity and adjoining requirements, Local Government Article 4-4011 requires annexed land to be contiguous and adjoining to municipal boundaries. The Attorney General of Maryland, over 25 years ago, in one of its formal opinions, looked into the legislative history of the annexation statute that was passed after Home Rule was bestowed on Maryland's municipalities in 1954, and found that contiguous means touching and adjoining means nearby. As reinforced by Town of Forest Heights v. Maryland National Capital Park and Planning, 463 Maryland 469, 2019, Maryland law and precedent permits municipalities to use rights-of-way to achieve contiguity when serving a legitimate municipal purpose. There are numerous examples of legal enclaves and corridor annexations in Maryland in every county of the state, except for Howard County, which has no municipalities. The town's approach under Resolution 1/2025 adheres to these standards, and Bladensburg's robust municipal service portfolio, including a full-service police department, demonstrates a clear municipal benefit for the area to be annexed. The hospital site, only 0.34 miles away, from the town's existing boundaries is well within the scope of the annexation practices as reviewed by Maryland Department of Planning and upheld by Maryland courts. The Attorney General's 1997 opinion regarding Berlin, Maryland also supports the legitimacy of the modest corridor or cherry stem annexation when pursuing lawful and reasonable municipal objectives. Corridors and tax-exempt properties assertions that the town's proposed annexation creates arbitrary or prohibitively extensive corridors are also unfounded. In addition to the more distant hospital tract, the town is also annexing intervening WSSC parcels along the corridor. Furthermore, there is an apparent misconception about the annexation process. Unless one actively works in this specialized field, one often lacks an informed understanding of its nuances. Many general local government attorneys and consultants are not specialized in municipal annexation law. Specifically, the opinion that Prince George's County or the state of Maryland needs to grant permission or review an application to annex property owned by federal, state, or local governments or their instrumentalities is outright and patently false. Maryland law requires only notification in such cases, which the town of Bladensburg has duly completed. The town does not need to ask permission or approval from Prince George's County to proceed with the annexation process. By statute, the county has the first right to speak at this hearing, along with other planning agencies, and the county council can vote by supermajority to force a referendum election in the area proposed to be annexed, but there are no registered voters living in the proposed area. That is the extent of the county's rights in a municipal annexation. But of course, we recognize that the county's redevelopment authority is the owner and the county council sitting as the district council and Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission in the regional district is the zoning authority. The town of Forest Heights case explicitly held that the consent requirement under Maryland Local Government Article 4-403B2 does not apply to tax-exempt property owners, including other local governments, or governments, period. This precedent directly applies to Resolution 01-2025, including tax-exempt entities, parcels. The town's reliance on this legal principle ensures compliance with state law, reaffirming the legitimacy of the annexation without requiring consent from the owners of tax-exempt properties. The legislative intent of Maryland's annexation laws prohibits annexations resulting in unincorporated areas being wholly encircled. However, as clarified in Anne Arundel County v. City of Annapolis, 352 Maryland 117, 1998, this prohibition does not apply unless such conditions exist. In this case, the alleged enclave is formed by multiple municipalities, which is not forbidden by statute. The town's proposal ensures that no statutory enclave is created, remaining in full compliance with Local Government Article 4-4012. There are individuals who are threatening litigation and presumably asking the court to rewrite the state annexation statute to suit themselves. They cannot do that as we are a nation of laws, not men and women. Concerning regarding procedural deficiencies are without merit. The town has fulfilled all statutory requirements, including preparing a detailed annexation resolution per 4-403, ensuring lawful boundaries and conditions, conducting public notice and hearings per 4-406, allowing county and planning agencies to provide input, submitting an annexation plan with an outline of municipal services to be provided to relevant entities as mandated by 4-415. These actions reflect the town's strict adherence to Maryland law, underscoring the baselessness of claims against the annexation. While the property developer may feel thrown into the middle of this process, the town of Bladensburg welcomes the opportunity to sit down and negotiate an annexation agreement that will likely be highly beneficial to them and neighboring jurisdictions. If Cheverly or the county had taken the annexation of Hospital Hill site seriously and acted in their own best interest, there would have already been a pre-established and executed pre-annexation agreement, one that could have been mutually beneficial to the proposed developer and any party interested in annexing. However, no such agreement, publicly or privately, existed, as explicitly stated by the Town Council of Cheverly. The county and Cheverly were well aware that in this particular area of the county have a large cluster of municipalities nearby, and a scarcity of unincorporated land available for annexation, that it was foreseeable that Bladensburg would assert its delegated home rule powers and right to annex land. While I will not delve into the specifics of the town's legal strategy, rest assured that the town will vigorously defend its resolution and commitment to lawful, transparent governance by grounded in our actions in established case law, statutory requirements, and factual bases. We remain steadfast in advancing initiatives that serve the best interests of the community. The town of Bladensburg is confident its annexation process under resolution number 1-2025 is legally sound and procedurally compliant. We welcome further dialogue to address any remaining concerns and reaffirm the commitment to collaboration and compliance with state law. And Madam Mayor, and briefly, I need to enter these into the record as exhibits for the hearing. The first one is Exhibit A, which is the rescheduling of notice of public hearing. Exhibit B is a description of the area to be annexed by the town of Bladensburg, Prince George's County, Maryland. I have Exhibit D, which is legal enclave and corridor municipal annexations in Prince George's County. Exhibit E, which is municipal boundaries in detail. Exhibit F, which is the case law of Town of Forest Heights v. Maryland National Capital Park and Planning. G, which is the town of Bladensburg annexation frequently asked questions. Exhibit H, which is the meaning of contiguous and adjoining required by Maryland annexation law, written by Kevin J. Best, Esquire, manager at the time, manager in research and information management. And several comments that will be entered into the record from town of Bladensburg residents as Exhibit J. And finally, the legislative priorities of the town of Bladensburg as Exhibit I. I submit these to the clerk for the record. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connor, for the overview and for providing the additional exhibits for Madam Town Clerk. At this time, we'll proceed on, Madam Clerk, it's time to hear from representatives of any community groups for the town of Bladensburg. So if we have anyone who signed up representing a community group such as an HOA, a 501c3, or a business located within the town, this would be the appropriate time for them to speak. I see leadership from the volunteer fire department. Did you sign? Okay, perfect.
Did you want me to?
Right. Is there anyone from one of the community groups, such as the fire department, an HOA, or other groups?
I just have one from the fire department, that is.
Okay. Is that Mr. Bobby Wells?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Wells, the floor is yours.
Good evening, friends, neighbors, community leaders, town administration, and Mayor James. My name is Robert Wells. I'm with Bladensburg Volunteer Fire Department with the Board of Directors for our organization located at 4213 Edmonston Road. And our organization stands to support the town of Bladensburg in the annexation of Hospital Hill. We support this, and we also want to reinforce back to the community as well as all other leaders that we are a 100% volunteer fire department. We have serviced the town of Bladensburg and supported the town as well as Hospital Hill for well over 100 years. So our organization has still been committed for well over that time, supporting the organization, supporting the locals, as well as providing great and excellent fire and EMS service to that particular area. Annexation isn't just about expanding our borders, it's about creating opportunities. It means more room for businesses, more services for families, and more resources for our public spaces. It's about giving Bladensburg a chance to grow into a vibrant, thriving town we all dream of. We know that great things come from bold actions. Going back to 1742 when the town was founded, Bladensburg has always been a town rooted in resilience, progress, and unity. By working together, we can ensure that this annexation benefits not only our current residents, but also the generations who wish to make this place their home. We know that great things come from bold actions. Of course, we must always move forward thoughtfully and responsibly. We need to listen to all of our voices, answer questions, and address concerns. This isn't just a decision for today, but a foundation for tomorrow. Let us embrace the opportunity with courage, compassion, and commitment to do what is right. Remember, excuses will always be there, opportunities will not. Let us ensure Bladensburg continues to be the town we are proud of to call home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wells. Madam Clerk, it looks like that completes any representatives for community groups. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mayor.
Okay, so we'll proceed on. We will now hear from individual speakers. This is for residents or Bladensburg business owners within the town's corporate limit. You will have 2 minutes to address the mayor and council, and again, the clock will be behind you on the wall. Madam Clerk, can you call the first person, please?
Our first resident is Ms. Kim Jolie. For the record, please, when you address the mayor and the council, please state your address for the record.
Good evening, everyone. The name is Kim Jolly, and I'm a Bladensburg resident at 4202 58th Avenue, Parkview at Bladensburg Senior Building. I'm just here to say that I support Bladensburg in this annexation and continued a long residence as Bladensburg. I moved here when I was 14, so I've been here for a very long time, and I would like to continue to see the growth in Bladensburg and the surrounding areas. So thank you.
Next resident, Ms. Coletta Cherry. For the record, please state your address for the record.
Hello, everyone. My name is Colette Cherry. I, too, live at 4202 58th Avenue, Bladensburg, Maryland, which is a Parkview Senior Building. My vision pretty much is the same as the mayor's, and especially Chief Collins. I've been around this area. I've lived here. I moved away. I come back, and I've seen. But when I came back to Bladensburg. Everything that I see Bladensburg have done, it has gotten better. Far as Cheverly, I've been there, but I see everything coming out of Bladensburg. So my vision is to see us move forward with Hospital Hill, and I thank you.
Our next resident, Ms. Susan McCutcheon.
Good evening. Susan McCutcheon, 5404 Spring Road. Good evening, council, guests, and Bladensburg residents. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I support the well-researched and appropriate annexation proposal as presented for Bladensburg Town Council approval. I think it would be beneficial for our town. Nonetheless, I am shocked and appalled at this entire situation as it has unfolded. Over the past few weeks, I have diligently sifted through information about the annexation of Hospital Hill. I have heard and read news stories ratcheting up the war between Cheverly and Bladensburg over that property. There has been verbal and written jousting among elected officials and residents of our town and Cheverly, some quite aggressive and some outright bullying. The Bladensburg Council has been vilified, particularly Mayor James. I have been witness to threats of retribution made against her, our town, and even myself if this proposed annexation vote moves forward. If the annexation process continues to go through proper channels, both Bladensburg and Cheverly will benefit, as will the county. We have been neighbors and partners for many years and should dedicate ourselves to continuing to work together. At this time of intense national polarization, we have the opportunity to lead by cooperative example. Let us set down our swords and try to work together. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, just a point of clarification. Is there still a sheet at the back for any residents that arrive late, so they still have the opportunity to sign up to speak?
There is still a sheet in the back.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And I apologize, I'm going to mess this one up. Mr. David Brinkar, I apologize. I knew it when I seen it. I apologize. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. My name, for the public record, my name is David Bangura, a 30-year resident of Bladensburg, Maryland, 5513 Decatur Street, 30 years plus. I can tell because my daughter is now 31 years of age, so I've lived you long. And my family and I are in full support of the expansion of the annexation of the hospital site. But here is a few concerns. Since Senator Augustine and Harvey are residents of Cheverly, Maryland, could this not represent a conflict of interest for either of them to participate in the process? Their role and responsibility alongside their local ties may lead to questions regarding impartiality and the potential for bias in decision-making. It is crucial to evaluate whether their involvement could affect the fairness of the process or if they have any personal stake that could influence their action. Transparency and adherence to conflict of interest regulation will be key in determining the appropriateness of their participation. And to conclude, I want to thank you that my family again are in favor of the expansion. Bladensburg has been growing since the last 30 years and it's continuing to be growing. Thank you.
Our next resident, Mr. Walter James.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents of the great town of Bladensburg. My name is Walter James. I reside at 5507 Doris Court, Bladensburg, Maryland. I'd like to thank the Mayor and Council for this opportunity to weigh in on such an important issue that positively impacts our community. Let me be clear. I'm in total support of the town of Bladensburg moving forward with the annexation of Hospital Hill. This annexation will not only benefit the town of Bladensburg, but all the communities that are situated as a gateway to Prince George's County. This annexation from a municipal perspective will be a catalyst that will spur massive growth and revitalization throughout our community. It would increase the town's tax base, ensuring that the town of Bladensburg can provide more quality services to our community and our partners, as expanding our police services, our fire services, increase job opportunities in both the public and private sector, the diversity of our economic plans. But it baffles me why there is such opposition to the growth of our community. It calls me to pause and ask several questions. Is the opposition because some don't want to see Bladensburg grow? Or is it some politicians may lose out on personal, political, or financial gains? Or is it just that wait and see game so we can see how the political winds blow to see who will get credit for the project? Or maybe some deals will cut with developers who may support in future political moves. I'm just asking, we'll let the community decide. You have one community, the town of Bladensburg, that took initiative to move forward. You have another community that was told to wait. Thank you, Bladensburg, for taking the initiative and not taking bad advice. I encourage you, Mayor and Council, to stand strong and to continue to do what is right and legal, which you are doing. Don't give in to political pressure, to fear tactics and threats. They only come to throw you off track. Mayor James, I want to publicly thank you for your leadership. By standing strong in your conviction and fighting for the town of Bladensburg, you represented us well, and I got your back. I have been around for quite a while, so let me encourage you. The greater opposition is the greater reward. Keep moving forward, because dogs never bark at park cars. And I'm going to let you know this all. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and I'm in it with you. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, the next resident, please.
Okay. Our next resident is Jocelyn Rout. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mayor Takesha James, members of the Town Council and residents of Bladensburg. I reside at 4205 55th Avenue. My name is Jocelyn Rout, and I speak tonight as a former elected official in Prince George's County, Maryland, and a proud member of this community. I'm here to strongly urge you to reject the proposed annexation of the Prince George's Hospital area. This action is legally questionable, damaging to our relationships with neighboring towns, and lacks transparency, making it the wrong decision for Bladensburg. Bladensburg has a history rooted in exploitation. It was once a hub for the slave trade. We cannot allow our town's future to echo the mistakes of the past by repeating patterns of exclusion and secrecy. The annexation hearing on October 24th was poorly advertised and inaccessible to most residents. Announcing this critical meeting through an online county newspaper without email updates or social media updates, as we often do the petting zoo, effectively excluding our community. No town residents were present, not because they didn't care, because they didn't know. We have to stop not engaging our residents. We did this before with the water barrier. This is not how trust is built. Beyond transparency, this proposal has already harmed our town's reputation. The legal conflicts raised by the potential lawsuit from Cheverly point to potential violations of Maryland law, including creating non-contiguous boundaries and attempting to annex our federal property. Our interim county executive and her office are not supporting this annexation. They see risks, and we should too. Moving forward makes Bladensburg look reckless, not strategic. While tax revenue might sound appealing, the reality is that these returns are uncertain and far off. Meanwhile, our town would bear the immediate cost.
We have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Let's do what's right for Bladensburg. All money isn't good money.
Thank you. The next resident, please, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Lauren White, your name and address for the record.
My name is Laura White. I live at 5107 Tilden Road, and I retired 4 years ago. I retired 4 years ago from Montgomery College, and so I had to commute every day back and forth between Montgomery County and Bladensburg, and I couldn't afford to live in Montgomery County, right? So one day I got a flat tire on the way home, and I was turning left on Edmonston Road, and I pulled off, and I went, oh my God, and I called USAA. They're very good at tire service, et cetera, emergency. And I said, I'm at da-da-da-da-da in Edmonston. And the truck didn't come, the truck didn't come, the truck didn't come. I go, what is going on? USAA is usually together. So I called them again, and I said, I must be in Riverdale. I'm across from the park there. I must be in Riverdale. No, truck didn't come, truck didn't come. They kept saying, we sent out a truck. So then I went up to the house there. Meanwhile, my dog is suffering at home. He's got to go outside. He's been trapped for 10 hours. So I go to the nearest house, and they say, you're in Hyattsville. You're in Hyattsville. So what if I'd been having a heart attack? What if I had a sick dog or a sick kid in the back of my car? Non-contiguous boundaries have consequences when you call for emergency services. So I have grave doubts about this big project. I think there are other ways that Bladensburg can develop economically, and I have really big concerns about the lack of transparency that this council did not provide for residents to say this was up. I got the notice on Nextdoor from pissed off Cheverly people. So I think it's both a process question and really an issue of public safety.
2 minutes.
Thank you, Ms. White. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Our next resident, Eric Harris, name and address for the record.
Hello, Mayor and Council and residents of Bladensburg. My name is Eric Harris, and I live at 5404 Tussie Road, Bladensburg, Maryland. I'm in favor of this annexation. I wrote a few things down. because I believe in this. And hospital here will add to our fine community. Change is necessary for growth. I look at the library, oh my, that library and all the work that mayor and council and has been done, and I really respect it. Bladensburg is a well-oiled machine that touches our close community with a warm personal touch. This annexation is not for selfish reasons. It's to help our community residents, old, young, disabled, and like my wife who has dementia, to get even more access to outreach that Bladensburg offers. You know, I know the chief, I know the mayor, I know the councilman, I know my neighbors, the Andersons. I know a lot of people in Bladensburg, and it really feels good when we're here today talking about something as powerful as this. It really makes me feel good that we can be a part of it. A lot of places you go, you're not a part of any decisions that's made. This is a blessing, and we should appreciate it. I see V been here forever. And one thing about it, when my wife gets missing, if I was somewhere else, you know, but I called the chief and I called Tankley, I called the folks, they know her. They know me. This is a great community, and I thank God I live in it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next resident, again, I apologize, I'm going to mess up the first name. I'm just going to say Mr. Lance. Name and address for the record.
That's me, Purnell Lance.
Purnell, okay.
5531 Bolter Avenue. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's good to be here tonight, Madam Mayor and the council. I'm here because I do approve this plan. I heard the guy from the Annex Committee was talking on the annex of the property, but my concern is who has the legal right to annex the land. That question may not can be answered tonight. I don't think it will, but that's a concern. Who has the legal right to annex the land? And secondly, I'm happy for development. I'm always happy for development and redevelopment. But the problem with development and redevelopment, developers are the ones who benefit. And I want to make sure that the residents get a piece of this pie. Thank you.
Next resident, Mr. Pete Colombo. Name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Mayor and Council. My name is Pete Colombo. I live at 4303 54th Street. I've been here for 33 years. My girls went to Bladensburg Elementary at Bladensburg High. I lived there a long time, and I too support this. You know, annexation happens everywhere, folks. States, countries. It is a process. Who can do it? Well, we can do it. I mean, obviously they did talk, were re-involved in their chatter? Probably not, because here we are getting the annexation done. And good for you, Madam Mayor and Council, for getting this done. We need more development in this town. I've been here 33 years and hardly see we do a great job with what we got. Bladensburg Waterfront Park, got the library going on now. And look at the support we get now in this town. I mean, color newsletter, everything going on, man. If you want to get involved, this is the town to do it. There's a lot going on. I'll say that much. But, Chief, I've called the police and had them down there in 35 seconds at my house one time, middle of the road, so I know what support's like. Everybody see Santa come through? Yeah. You get a lot of support. Who better? You know, I used to sit on that hill as a kid with my family, and we watched the fireworks, put a blanket out on the hill and watch the fireworks downtown. Good view. It's a great place. I had 4 family members born in that hospital, and it's been, you know, it's seen a lot of life come in, and after COVID, you're seeing a lot of people perish out there in the portable tents and stuff like that. A little sad, but I think, well, can we handle this? Sure we can. But look at our roads. My road gets plowed for snow all the time. I can go out my neighborhood, my street's plowed. I go on Annapolis Road, it's a mess. So this town takes care of its business. So we can certainly handle anything with the growth over there. I'm confident of that. So I am all sold in, and I just say great job. Good job. Thank you.
Our next resident, Mr. Steve White. Name and address for the record.
Yeah, I'm Steve White. I live at 5407 Tilden Road. I've read the Prince George County Development Plan for the old Prince George Hospital area. And apparently Chevrolet's been working with the developer and with Prince George County for a year to develop the site. All of the roads going into and out of the hospital site go through the town of Chevrolet. So Bladensburg will have to work with the town of Chevrolet in developing this site. Now Chevrolet mayor and said that Chevrolet will sue Bladensburg to stop the Bladensburg annexation. The developer is also opposing the Bladensburg annexation. The proposed development shows a beautiful community with stores and services. I've lived in Bladensburg for 48 years now, and I don't want to see the towns get into a lengthy court battle. I hope the Hospital Hill site can be developed into a thriving community with good quality stores and restaurants and services that our towns very much need. Thank you.
Okay. Next resident, Mr. Raymond Thompson. Name and address for the record.
My name is Raymond Thompson, 6011 Emerson Street, Bladensburg, Maryland. I support the mayor and I support the leadership. I'm really not too inclined about what's going on as far as the annexing, but I know with the leadership, whatever the leadership has in store, I support, because one thing I can say about the mayor and the leadership is there's nothing that they won't do for us. She sticks her head out. She fights for us. I can call her anytime I need her. She's there. I grew up in Bladensburg. I remember when I used to get caught by the train every single morning. The bill got when the bridge finally got built for the train. That was a lifesaver for me and my mother. So I've been here through the changes. I've been through the development. Bladensburg is not afraid of change. They take it head on. I support you. I will continue to support you, and I support the annexation. Thank you.
Again, I apologize in advance. The last name is Davis. Rudolph Davis. Rudolph, okay. I'm so sorry.
Street, Bladensburg, Maryland. AKA DJ Flavor. This is Mary James. So I have been a Bladensburg resident for a very long time. I've quite a few properties here, not including the one that I just mentioned. Thank you, Mayor James, and everyone else for doing the work that you've been doing. I am concerned about this annex. I like the annex. It sounds great. I like money coming to it in Bladensburg. It sounds amazing. But there's a whole lot of space between Bladensburg and getting over there to that other side. You know, when we think about going down, you go towards the public playhouse. Well, what about that space that's right there? You know, why can't that part of it actually be a part of this annex? Why can't we get that side of us into it? And then it might bring more money into our community, but there's other things that are going on in our community that really need to be addressed. How can we get more money to fix what we already have up? I love having the library, but it looks kind of weird. If you think about it, it's just a brand new building sitting in amongst a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on. And I don't know how this makes it better for us. I see the chief looking at me. I meant to say thank you to him. Awesome, amazing person. No, and I believe it. Just like the gentleman said, 35 seconds, try 5 seconds getting the call. And they're right there. You drive down the street, you say hi to everybody. That's great. We're great in that area. But how does this actually bring money to us? And that's a large gap. The police department is already strained. Every time I look at something come across, and I'm happy that we're breaking down the crime that's here. I've had, we had what, two bikes stolen out of our yard? A lot of stuff stolen, right? Car broken into, different things. They're already strained. How fast are our officers going to be able to get from over here to over there? And we share officers with 3 other towns now, right? So that's a lot that we'll be taking on. And then, lastly,
2 minutes passed. Thank you.
Chevrolet, got to think about Chevrolet, y'all. Why would we do that?
Next resident, Ms. Suzette Burns. Name and address for the record.
I'm Suzette Burns, and I live at 4437 Blue Heron Way. I first want to thank you for the opportunity to even speak. I may not understand all of the legalities that are involved, so I appreciate the opportunity to kind of hear this, especially after I got the big email from Prince George's County. But I am definitely in support of the annexation of Hospital Hill, and it's just mainly because I definitely support and I see the progress. I've been a resident here for about 17 years. I see major progress with the leadership that we have now. And so I want to thank the mayor for what she does and how personable she is, as well as Chief Collington. So I definitely support this decision to actually move forward with the annexation. So thank you.
Thank you. Next resident, Estefany Berto. Name and address for the record.
Hi, my address is 4007 Actually, if you could
It's
wait
gonna
till
have
you
to
get
be
up to the microphone.
At the microphone, please.
Yeah, because we have folks online and they're having a difficult time hearing if you're not in the mic.
Okay, I was speaking to
Thank
the mic.
you.
Hi, everyone. Okay. My name is Stephanie. I've been a resident of Bladensburg for a little over 5 years. I support the annexation because I feel it would be a wonderful addition for the community. I feel it will attract more businesses, create jobs, and of course, enhance opportunities for local entrepreneurship. A larger community means a stronger voice in shaping the future, especially our youth. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Next resident, Reggie Bagley. I apologize. I promise I'll start getting them right.
That's all right. I've been called worse. Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council, Bladensburg staff. My name is Reggie Bagley. I live at 4913 Taylor Street. Been a resident of Bladensburg for 12 years now. I just have to stand back and calculate. Wow, I've been here a long time. And I stand here tonight in a couple of different capacities, primarily as a resident. But I also bring a bit of experience. I've worked in municipal government since 2010, and I was involved in a couple of different annexation projects in other municipalities where I've worked. I stand here tonight to voice my support for the annexation. And I know that the council can't comment on the public comments, but I'll speak to the previous resident just to make you aware that the connector annexation between Bladensburg and Hospital Hill is a part of the overall plan. So there is a plan to do that. Annexation, as has been well stated, is a tremendous economic development tool for any municipality. As you well know, when it comes to revenue building, there are only a few ways to do it, one of which is raising property taxes, which I'm sure no one here is in favor of. And so this provides an opportunity for us to, for the town rather, to increase its revenue, increase its profile, as well as to provide additional services. And I'll spend the rest of my time just speaking on economic profile. When you want to grow a municipality, you need to be able to do so by the characterization of the municipality. And if you're able to annex an area that could bring you possible new business opportunities, new residential opportunities, as well as a new caliber of resident, not to speak down to the residents who work here, but that type, or who currently live here, but a certain income base will be present there, which will increase the revenue potential that's available in a town of Bladensburg. There's not too many larger places that we can grow, and this annexation provides the opportunity to do that. So with that, I'll be happy to support the annexation of Bladensburg.
That's it too.
My time's up?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next resident, Mr. James Nelson. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is James O. Nelson III. My address is 5703 Mary A. Court. Good evening, Bladensburg Council, PG Council, Police Department, and Bladensburg residents. Excuse me for any sniffles and my voice. I'm battling a sinus infection, but I could not miss this opportunity to speak. My name is James O. Nelson III, and I've been a Bladensburg resident for 13 years. My wife and I moved here to start our family, which now includes our 3 daughters. During our tenure in Bladensburg, my family has traveled to D.C., Woodmore, Gambrills, and Annapolis, Maryland for family brunches and dinners. I am thrilled at the idea of the town of Bladensburg can acquire what is known as a Hospital Hill with the hopes of developing the land. I envision this redevelopment will bring sit-down restaurants and other attractions my family and others can patronize without having to constantly leave the town. The taxable revenue will bring much-needed financial assistance to our town and maybe fill the void of finally having a grocery store nearby. In closing, I would like to remind you our previous council executive, Angela Oxenbrooks, set a goal to bring DC restaurants and nightlife to PG County in an effort to keep residents and their funds in the county. Approving this project for the town of Bladensburg will help achieve the goal, and we will be taking one step closer to making PG and Bladensburg a better place to reside. I hope PG County and Bladensburg councils can work in an amicable manner to make the town of Bladensburg a desired attraction for all. The Nelson household is in favor of annexing Hospital Hill to the town of Bladensburg. Thank you.
Mayor, that was the last of the public comments.
And does that include the final sign-up sheet that was at the back for anyone who came late, so they had the opportunity to sign up?
That is correct, Mayor.
Okay.
Everybody has spoken who signed up.
All right, so while currently no one resides in the area to be annexed, as a matter of procedure, we will now offer to hear from residents of groups representing individuals, groups, or entities located or owning property within the area to be proposed for the annexation. And Mr. O'Connor, you did note that earlier. The current site does not have any occupants, correct?
Correct, Mayor. No answer to a call as well.
All right, thank you for that confirmation. At this time, we'll move now into the council's comments for the record. I want to, just as a courtesy, go to Councilmember Blunt first, since she's joining us virtually. Councilmember Blunt, are you prepared to make your comments?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me? Yeah. You can hear me pretty good?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Somebody say something? Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm battling a little sinus infection and all that stuff as well. I've listened to everyone's concerns, support, the ones not in support. And as we know that as we grow, we will have bumps and we'll run into hurdles. And we're going to do that. But in order to make change and difference and better, it's going to happen. The hospital site was a significant driver. Let me just, sorry. There are some key factors I consider when making my decision tonight. Economic growth and development of the hospital site was a significant driver of economic development for the entire area. And we see the same potential in the new development for Bladensburg economic development future. Our town has a public safety, public works, economic development, and administrative resources needed to support this project. We're really strong. We bring valuable contribution to the table and can be a strong partner in the county of the redevelopment of urban Atlantic, and even the town of Cheverly residents will also benefit from this site. So we're not leaving anyone out. We're hoping that once the development gets started on its way, that we're making a difference for everyone, not just Bladensburg. Taking action, we want to grow our town and create new opportunities for our community. This is not about conflict, despite what people may say. It's about bringing everyone together. Once everything gets together, you'll see that we're bringing everyone together. We saw this chance to take an action, and we made the aggressive move to ensure progress. The town has sought legal advice throughout this process and is prepared to face any challenges as we move forward. Our leadership is committed to conducting this multiple annex lawfully, including tonight's hearing. The town is following Maryland Municipality Annexation Statute Conference, codified in subtitle 4 of Title 4 of the local government article, which I can go on this over and over. We have heard over and over tonight that we're moving in a great way in doing this, and hoping that we can bring all the municipalities together as one once we see growth, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're not running from scare tactics, bullying, or anything. We're moving forward to build Bladensburg, to make that library you think is a sore thumb, to make it beautiful and enhancing around in the building, in the area. We don't understand I'm not going to read that part. Our goal is not to disrupt or delay the development of anything, project that support and ensure the success benefits of everyone. We understand that work has been done and acknowledge the funding that our state senator, Malcolm Augustine, has sought to demolish the site. And we appreciate all the work he do for the district, because he does a lot, and I respect everyone in their decisions, no matter where they are. As we go forward, I'm just hoping that, again, we bridge together and we leave all the negative to the side and build a better Bladensburg, because that's what we're going to do. I'm 10 toes down for Hospital Hill. Ooh. That's all.
Thank you, Councilmember Blunt. We appreciate your remarks. Next, we'll hear from Councilmember Dixon.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents, and everyone. Can you hear me? No. Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, residents, and everyone. Good evening to you. I'm Councilmember Kalisha Dixon for the Town of Bladensburg, Ward 1. The Town of Bladensburg is committed to growth and expanding our borders. Recognizing the opportunity at Hospital Hill, we began the process of annexation. These last few weeks have been challenging, but we've listened carefully to our residents, and many have expressed their desire for us to move forward. Here are my key factors that guided my decisions: equity and inclusion, engagement and fairness, legal framework, annexation, rational, and a vision for the future. Historically, majority-minority communities like Bladensburg and the Port Towns are often overlooked. While we may not have the political influence as some neighbors, we are a stable and resilient community. This decision is not about personal or political dispute. Bladensburg has constantly collaborated with surrounding municipalities from the Port Town to Eittsville, College Park, and Greenbelt. We see this as our time to take a bold step forward. Urban Atlantic and the county have emphasized the regional impact of this project, but have not actively engaged all affected municipalities. Bladensburg is stepping up as an honest broker, eager to collaborate and ensure the project's success without causing harm to any stakeholder. The town's annexation process follows the Maryland Municipal Annexation Statute, codified in subtitle 4 of Title 4 of the local government article. Our staff and legal expertise are adhering to the status plain language, case law, and opinions from the Maryland Attorney General. There is legal precedent supporting the town's position, including the sufficiency of annexation processes involving roadbeds to connect distant parcels. The state views municipalities and counties as co-equal local governments, affirming our legal standing. Annexing commercial property like Hospital Hill strengthens our tax base, providing resources that improve residents' quality of life. The legal prerequisites for annexation includes incorporating unincorporated land, ensuring the land is continuous and nearby to the town, avoiding the creation of illegal enclaves of unincorporated territory. While these legal standards can be contested, our approach aligns with the purpose and intent of Maryland annexation law. In my first year as a council, on the council, I learned much from our residents and my council colleagues. I'm in the community every weekend, listening to the resident concerns and working on solutions. I care deeply about this community. And when I ran for office, I wanted to see change and make difference in the lives of the residents of Ward 1 and the entire town. As I endeavored to make this decision, it was not made lightly. I want to thank everyone who has spoken tonight and shared their perspectives. Your care for our community inspires me. Even if we don't always see things through the same lens, I remain optimistic that we can collaborate with county, the Redevelopment Authority, Urban Atlantic, and even the town of Cheverly to find common grounds and move forward together. As a woman of faith, I know that challenges and trials build character and strengthen us. And I quote, "United we stand, and divided we fall." My Bible tells me that if a kingdom is divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. And if a house is divided against itself, the house cannot stand. And so I believe that all things are possible through faith. Being a change maker is never easy, but it is necessary for growth. I look forward to working as a team to build a better future, Madam Mayor, residents, and staff for the town of Bladensburg. And I fully support the annexation of Hospital Hill. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Dixon. We appreciate those comments. Councilmember McBride.
Good evening, everyone. Committed to growing our town and creating new opportunities for Bladensburg. This decision isn't about conflict or division. After seeing that Cheverly Council hadn't taken action or annexation for over a year and a half, we saw a chance to step forward and make a bold decision for the future of our community. I looked at the historic perspective and Bladensburg's resources. The hospital site has always been a cornerstone for development in this region. We see its redevelopment as a critical opportunity for Bladensburg. With over 280 years of history, Bladensburg has the experience, resources, and vision to support this project and help it to succeed. I know that the town is adhering to legal guidelines on annexation. The town is following the Maryland Municipal Annexation Statute, which is clearly laid out in Subtitle 4 of Title 4 of the Local Government Article in the Maryland law. Our staff and legal team are relying on the statute, case law, and guidance from the Maryland Attorney General to ensure we are conducting this process correctly and responsibly. When thinking and praying over this process, this is my rationale for annexation. Annexing commercial property can significantly enhance our tax base and improve the quality of life in our communities. This isn't a simple task. It's a complex process involving competing interests. However, we've made sure to meet legal requirements for annexation, including only annexing unincorporated land, ensuring the land is connected and near our existing town limits, avoiding the creation of isolated unincorporated areas. I am committed to collaboration and partnership. As a council member, we understand that annexation comes with challenges, but it also brings tremendous opportunities. We are committed to working with the county, the redevelopment authority, and the developer to ensure the success of this project. Tonight is not the end. It is the beginning, Bladensburg. I want to express my appreciation to each of you. I want to thank all the residents and the officials who have shared their thoughts today. Over the past few months, I've prayerfully considered this process, attended meetings, and spoken with residents and staff about its potential impact. As I stated, I want to work with the county, the RDA, the developers, and Chevrolet as we move forward. Tonight, I am supporting this measure because we were elected to make bold decisions for you that benefit our residents. While change is never easy, and there may be risks, however, these risks are often necessary to build a better future for our town. Bladensburg, we may look small, but we are strong. For where there is unity, there is strength. We can work together where there is unity. Again, there is strength. May you all be blessed.
Thank you so much. I know. Give her a round of applause. That was powerful. Thank you. Thank you so much for those comments, Councilmember McBride. And again, I know Councilmember Brown is not with us. She's ill and recovering at home. So I'll round out the council's comments with a prepared statement as well. The town of Bladensburg is seeking opportunity and sustainability. Many municipalities in the area share the same ambition for annexation. Recently, the CEO for the Maryland Municipal League, Teresa Coons, aptly described annexation as the last frontier for municipalities. For several years, the town council has envisioned annexation as part of our strategic growth. And in the last few years, we've taken steps to ensure that we're hiring new staff and the consultants that you heard from tonight to enhance our outreach to businesses and solidify our position in the region's future. Unfortunately, much of the media coverage missed this fact. And the public discourse surrounding this matter has been framed as unfair competition or conflict, rather than a shared vision with equal jurisdictional rights for regional collaboration and growth. As some may know, Chevrolet more than 2 decades ago annexed property on our side of the parkway. And so we should both have the opportunity to expand our municipal borders on either side of the parkway, provided the land is nearby and not incorporated. The fact of the matter is that Chevrolet has long chosen to forego the annexing opportunity for the adjacent hospital site, and the county, to be honest with you, likely prefers that none of us annex it. That would be their preference. Now, had Chevrolet chosen to annex or enter into a pre-annexation agreement with the landowner, we wouldn't even be here today. But there is no documentation to show any level of commitment anywhere that there was either a pre or post-annexation agreement. I understand that our interests may have surprised some, but we have recently followed the process laid out in the annexation statute and have long been taking the lead working with port towns on reviving our CDC while moving forward with projects. It seems more appropriate to say our effort and level of engagement were ignored. Thus, the lack of public transparency on the type of discussions and investments with Chevrolet and the RDA was not a matter of public record. nor were we made privy to any of these conversations, which now we're hearing about now that we're taking action. So how do you ask questions when you don't even know what to ask because you're not even privy to these conversations? I mean, seriously, how do you ask questions? How do you know what is on the table? And yet we've been scolded, we've been caught sneaky, we've been called spoilers, we've been told, well, if we move forward with this, people are saying, oh, the deal will fall apart, you'll ruin it. Above all, in this process, this town council is seeking respect for you, the town residents and our town business owners. It's no secret, we are an all-female council. We're also an all-minority female council. So the fact that we represent a majority-minority community, and we are majority-minority on the town council, there seems to be this consistent theme of treatment from our counterparts. And sadly, those who represent us. We've been underestimated, we've been second-guessed, and what's even more disheartening, there's a presumption that we don't even understand the development and annexation process. We've had so many things mansplained to us in the last few weeks, I can't even tell you. But this needs to stop, and we deserve respect. We're here representing and fighting on behalf of our residents. So I want to make it clear that those assumptions are unfounded. And today I want to outline for you why I unequivocally support this annexation. The first point I have for you is we seek collaboration and not conflict. This is not personal, this is business. And we deeply respect the county, we deeply respect our neighbors. But as a team, we've demonstrated collaboration through our work with the port towns. We've had agreements with other communities such as Hyattsville, you heard it earlier, Greenbelt and College Park. So we have demonstrated collaboration across the county. And while we understand Cheverly's position, we respectfully disagree with many of the public statements and assertions that have been put forth regarding this matter. And we feel annexation allows us a rightful place on the team to actually be in a position to be at the table, because again, we weren't privy to those private conversations. We're only now being made aware that, oh, we've been talking about this, but where is it documented? Secondly, we see the hospital site as hugely an opportunity for potential. The site has historically served as a vital economic driver, as you heard before, but we don't want it to be a driver for one municipality. We want it to help all of us. A rising tide lifts all ships. And so we see this project as having transformative potential for all of us. We are one of the oldest municipalities in Prince George's County. We were chartered in 1742, then we were incorporated in 1854. We've been here. And frankly, a lot of these other places used to be Bladensburg. So we have demonstrated stability. We're not going anywhere. Why would you not want to invest with a long-standing partner who's demonstrated stability and the historical perspective on development in this area? You've heard it already. Chief laid it out there, our town administrator laid it out there. We are well positioned to contribute meaningfully to this project and the region's growth. My third point is we want inclusion and critical discussion because it has not happened. Many of these discussions have been dominated by the Redevelopment Authority, which they own it, it's unincorporated, but then between the developer and Cheverly as primary stakeholders. We're 0.34 miles away. We're not 34 miles away. And we've never even been consulted as an interested party, an interested stakeholder. We have a mutual agreement for police services with Cheverly. You think that's not going to affect us if they were to annex that? How's that being a good team player? But again, we're willing to step up to the plate and be the person to bring all the players to the table at the appropriate time. The RDA, as part of the county, should remain neutral when it comes to a situation involving municipalities, because we are within the same county. And as was stated before, land is scarce. And so for annexation of small towns like ours, we don't have a lot of options. So there is competition as you look at this northern to central area of Prince George's County. We just don't have a lot of opportunities. Bladensburg has one of the largest public safety agencies in this area. And again, Chief, you laid it out there covering all the divisions that we currently have. We're not saying if this happens, now we have to staff up. We have SAT team, criminal investigations. We've got a traffic unit. We've got accident reconstruction unit. I could go on and on, the K-9 unit. So it's not that, oh, if this happens, now we're going to grow to these service needs. We have it. And we're well positioned to be able to do even more. My final point is we're committed to regional success. Urban Atlantic and the county have highlighted the project's regional benefits, but they, again, have not sufficiently engaged other municipalities as stakeholders, and that's what we want to do. Bladensburg wants to be at the table as an honest stakeholder to ensure this project's success. We are not coming in here to stop this development. We're not coming in here to be disruptive. This annexation allows us to be additive to what the county's already providing, because you've already heard it, for those who live in unincorporated areas, their response time with police services is what compared to 2.5 minutes? I don't have to tell you. It could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. We don't have that 2.5 minutes response time. We're well positioned to be a good partner in this process. Additionally, it's crucial that we also take into account that we're both taxing authorities, and we also are able to provide complementary services working together as a local government and with the county. The Bladensburg annexation of Hospital Hill site will not negate the development's commercial impacts on the region or diminish that in any way. And we are willing to be creative to make this a beneficial situation for the developer. Again, we are open to any sort of ideas that they may have to ensure the success of this project. But as was stated earlier, I just want to go on the record also saying we're prepared and we know the law. The town has sought and relied on expert legal advice. I know you haven't heard from our land use attorney, Mr. Kevin Best, but he is on the line, and I don't think it's an accident his last name is Best. He is the best. This man knows land use law like very few people know. And with his help and Mr. O'Connor, we have learned a lot along the way as a town council, and they have made sure that we have followed the letter of the law every step of the way. The town, again, is adhering to the Maryland Municipal Annexation Statute, which is codified in Subtitle 4 of Title 4 of the Local Government Article of the Maryland Code. Our staff and our legal team rely on that statute's plain language. When that's not clear, they rely on case law, and when that's not clear, they rely on the Attorney General's opinions to guide every single action that we have taken along the way, and they will continue to do so. We have legal precedent that supports the town. And there's numerous examples statewide and even in Prince George's County of legal enclaves and corridors and what they call cherry stem annexations. The Circuit Court of Prince George's County recently upheld a roadbed annexation similar to what we're proposing going down Kenilworth Avenue to Hospital Hill site. And in that case, it was over 2 miles. But yet we're talking about 0.34 miles. 0.34 miles compared to 2 miles. And this is illegal. Does that make sense to anyone? I think not. And while there's no reported cases that definitively address roadbed annexations to nearby or more distant land tracts, the courts have defined what are legal enclaves and have repeatedly enforced that holding that tax-exempt landowners have no right to consent or deny annexation. Both municipalities and counties are considered co-equal in the eyes of state law. And as such, municipalities are vying to remain sustainable and responsive to our residents, reinforcing the legitimacy of Bladensburg's position as a senior municipality in this county. In closing, I want to again reinforce we want to be good stewards for our constituents, all of you, and assert our own right to grow within the confines of the law while being respected as a viable community. The town of Bladensburg must seize this opportunity to advance toward a new frontier. Our leadership is committed to fostering growth, collaboration, and respect for all stakeholders. This annexation is not only a logical step, but a necessary one for the future of our community and the region. I fully support the annexation for Resolution 01-2025 and encourage my colleagues to do the same. So with that, this completes all of the comments for item A under the public hearing. And we'll now move to item 4A. Sorry, that was 3A for the public hearing. We're now moving to item 4A, which is unfinished business, a resolution for annexation number 01-2025. Madam Clerk, would you please read the abbreviated summary?
A resolution by the Mayor and Council of the Town of Bladensburg enlarging the corporate boundaries of the Town town by the annexation of 113 acres of land, more or less.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And for those who are in the room, there are copies on the back table, I believe. It's also online on the website, should you choose to download the full resolution. Is there a motion to approve Annexation Resolution 01-2025?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions beyond our comments on the record? I think you all laid it out there. Thank you so much. With that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of, or I'm sorry, let me back up. We're going to do a roll call vote, Madam
correct,
Clerk.
Mayor. Yes.
Sorry, got you all excited.
Okay, we're going to start with Councilmember Blunt.
Present.
If the,
Oh, no, for the vote,
voting for
aye or nay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Councilmember Brown is absent. Councilmember Dixon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Sorry. Councilmember McBride.
Aye.
Mayor James.
Aye.
The votes are unanimous.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Clerk, and thank you, Council, for taking this bold step. Secondly, I want to make sure I thank all of our residents who are here tonight, whether you spoke or not. The fact that you are here present to see what is going on and to support this step is truly, truly meaningful. So thank you for being here. With that, I'll call for a motion to adjourn tonight's public hearing.
So move.
Moved by Councilmember McBride, seconded by Councilmember Dixon. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. We're adjourned. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody, and happy holidays.